Y'all, wasn't me.
It was y'all. You're a police officer. You part of that. It was y'all. It was y'all. You don't like to be labeled in with slave catchers. You shouldn't have taken their oath, sellout. You are a sellout. You wearing this. You are a sellout. You ain't protected. You got to do whatever they tell you to, including hurt your people. Because you're walking up to me and I don't like you and I don't trust you and I don't got no conversation with you. So unless you're investigating the crime, leave me the alone.
When I'm here,
I don't care. I got a gun license right here. This is legal. Philadelphia Crime Code 6108. Move your car out of people's way and get the out of my face. Thank you, officer.
Have a good day.
You have a bad one. Sell out. Out of here. You smiling for a sellout? You know where you came from? Slave catchers hired you to help catch their property, which was us. Slave catcher controls the origin of that bag. Get out of here. Go where you're needed. We don't need your help. Get out the street. Like your supervisor said, get out the street. Get out the street. Go with him. Go with him. Get out the street. You blocking traffic. Get out the street. W. Get out the street. Thought you was gonna disarm.
In Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the Black Panthers were present, which led to the cops showing up. The men knew their rights, and we saw a walk-off from the police.
No ICE agent ever run up on me. I guarantee you they won't. I'll put a hole in their chest the size of a window. Safe line repair, safe line replace. That's what's gonna happen. They touch me. Unarmed woman was killed by ICE. If you think you're about to come and brutalize the people while we're standing here, around and find out. Our interactions with the police and ICE, and we hold them accountable. We hold them accountable. We patrol the community and we hold them accountable. The Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, we're the same Panther Party from back in the day, but we're a little more aggressive now, you dig? Carry bigger guns and we don't take no places where there are a lot of immigrants at. I think that the community around them needs to take special care to them and needs to start escorting them to and from everywhere to make sure that they're safe. Because them ICE agents ain't gonna act like that if it's a bunch of people standing outside with assault rifles and shotguns. It's a semi-automatic shotgun. That means them shotgun shells that shoot out of a pump, they shoot them rapidly. If you are gonna legally arm yourself with something bigger than what they got. Those who serve in the public, they should be fearful of the public. They should be fearful of the public.
Shalom. All praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Chakwadash, double honors to the apostles, bishops, elders, great millstone. Salutations to and pushing this word in all sincerity and honesty, though for let constantly enduring Shalom. My name is Korah Allah. Lord makes for edifying lesson. Well, what you just saw was, as it reads right here, now you could check this guy out. Let me subscribe. Okay, you could check out this guy, TYT Sports. Okay. But I'm read his title. It says, terrified cops flee the scene when they spot the Black Panthers. Okay, and he basically saw two skits of what happened in Philly. First, you saw the Black Panthers and how they dealt with some so-called black cops. I say so-called because black is not a nationality. Okay, black is a color. And then it also shows you one of the leaders of the Black Panthers, how they, they boast in their guns and their rights to bear arms. Okay, now, the rights to bear arms. Now, the thing is this, that's not going to deliver you. That's not going to save you in these times, especially if you're coming up opposing a force that's basically can't be stopped, okay? Because why? Because Esau's blessing is the sword, okay? You got those guns that were manufactured by your enemy, okay? So you can't come to them with, they have unlimited resources. They have all sorts of military and whatnot. I also want to say this is why a lot of our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, this is why we're going to see a lot of casualties, a lot of judgment, okay, and a lot of people being unalived. That's actually going to be the lot for a lot of our people. That's their lot, and that's also punishment from Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, and that's also what Esau, aka the so-called white man, aka the wicked, is here to do, okay? So I'm getting through scriptures, and Lord makes for edifying lesson. This is Romans 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. Okay, so it says, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, right? So if someone's in rulership, which these nations all had a time to rule, right now we're in the last leg of the Roman Empire, which is aka America. America, NATO, and the EU, but at the top, America is sitting in a rulership position. Okay, so let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. Meaning what? You still have to pay your taxes. Okay, you have to be a law-abiding citizen. Okay, and you understand your place, which we're in subjection. Us so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans especially, man, we're held still captive till this day. Okay, so let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power that be of the Most High. There is no power but of the Most High. So if these souls in rulership, guess who put them there? The Most High did. Okay, that's the understanding that our people can't grasp. Meaning what? To go against Esau is to go against the Heavenly Father. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. See, Esau is in rulership for a reason. Okay, the Lord said what? He created all things, even the wicked, for the day of judgment. Okay, so Esau is gonna bring that judgment. It says, whosoever therefore resists the power, resists the ordinance of the Most High. Okay, listen, we understand this is all prophecies. We understand what's going on today is prophecies. This is not something we want to resist. It's not something that we want to try to fight in any way, because things have to get bad before they get better. But you're going to have 2/3 of our people that don't understand prophecies when they see it. Okay, so they want to fight, they want to resist, they want to be carnal, and this is why you're going to see a lot of them are going to be put to death. Okay, whosoever therefore resists the powers, resist the ordinance of the Most High, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. Okay, all this hell breaking loose, listen, let it happen. Don't go out there talking about guns and fight the power. Okay, first of all, the Black Panthers was already demolished. Okay, the Black Panthers, their history, they made movies on it. Okay, Esau dismantled the Black Panthers without even shooting a gun. Okay, so now here it is, you back here again, trying again. That didn't work. It didn't work then, it's not going to work now. Okay, and they that resist shall receive themselves damnation. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. There you go. The rulers are not a terror to good works. What are the good works? Going out there on the highways and byways, calling upon Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shah, doing obeying the laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability. Okay, but to the evil. Now, if you're doing something contrary to that, okay, you're not calling upon the Lord, you're calling upon Jesus Christ. You're trusting in your guns, you're trusting your oppression, your oppression. If you're totally going against, the list goes on. All right. It says, will thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. Okay, so in other words, the evil works is it's a 2/3 club. All right. First of all, if you're a woman, you're not supposed to be out there in the midst of things. In the heat of the moment, you out there instead of going home to your family. Okay, that's not a wise move. Now check this out though. If you're a woman of the Lord and you get caught in a situation where you had no control of the situation, guess what? The Lord's going to deliver you out of that situation, and you're gonna build your faith in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah even more. Okay, That's what the Lord is doing for his elect. He's going to deliver them. Okay? It says, "Will thou then not be afraid of the powers? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same." So we welcome these things to happen. We welcome martial law. If they want to implement Insurrection Act, go right ahead. We welcome it. Welcome these things. Because the scriptures say what? The wicked will come down having great wrath. Okay? And I'm going to get that too. It says Romans 13:4, "For he is the minister of the Most High to thee for good." Okay? So Esau is a servant to the Most High to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid. Okay? Scriptures say the Lord can make your enemy to be at peace with you. Okay? But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, because the Lord's gonna bring your enemies to use your enemies to bring you to judgment, which our number one enemy is Esau. Right? And guess what? If that cop is a so-called black cop, so-called Latino, Puerto Rican, whatever cop nationality, he's a cop, he has to follow his orders. Okay? And just cause you sent them cops off that one time, don't think that's gonna be the every occasion is gonna be you just scared the cops off with guns. Who you kidding? Okay, you know they got things. They don't even need to draw guns to take you down. And here it is, you got shotguns and long guns and machine guns, submachine guns. They don't even need guns to take you down. They have other means, other weapons, other tactical advantages. Okay. It says, "But thou then not be afraid of," Romans 13:4, "For he is the minister of the right." It says, "But he is the minister of the Most High for thee for good. But if thou do which is evil, be afraid. For he beareth not the sword in vain. For he is the minister of the Most High, a revenger, to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil." Right. So you won't see a lot of wrath being executed. All right, like the young lady that got shot in the car, which allegedly, because it might be a psyop or whatever. Okay, but that's an example. All right, I guarantee you, it's not gonna end well for those Black Panther guys. I guarantee you, it's not gonna end well for a lot of you people that try to resist, try to be Esau with their laws and okay. Scriptures say, "Agree with your adversaries." Hold on, let me get these scriptures, man. This is Matthew 5:25. I will do this too. Okay. It says, read a letter so you know it's Yahweh Shah speaking. It says Matthew 5:25. "Agree with thine adversary quickly while thou art in the way with him. Lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison." So this is like, this is how to deal one-on-one, okay? How to advocate for yourself in a manner, how to defend yourself in a manner that allows you to go free, to instead of you being arrested, being charged. Okay? So it says Matthew 5:25, "Agree with thy adversary quickly." Let me look this word up because I said advocate. Publicly recommend or support. A person who pleads on someone else's behalf. Okay. Yeah, so this is basically showing you how to speak for yourself, defend yourself. Okay. You don't have to be aggressive. You don't have to be defensive. All right. This is a tactical way to defend yourself verbally, you know. Matthew 5:25. Agree with thine adversary quickly while thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. Verily I say, yeah, you cast into prison. You know, when the judge says take him away, and then the officers come and take you away and put you in prison. Well, we not even trying to see the judge. We ain't trying to see no courtroom. All right, your words. You could say something to an officer, and you won't even get a ticket. They'll give you a have a nice day. Okay. Verily I say unto thee, thou shalt by no means come out of thence till thou hast paid the uttermost farthing. Okay. And I'm gonna do this too. I'm reading NLT. It says, and if that happens, you surely won't be free again until you have paid the last penny. You understand? And we don't have time to be paying no extra fees, man. You know, Jakes are always uptight, man. Okay? So that's how you deal with that situation. If someone comes up to you, asking you questions, demanding answers, you agree with them quickly. All right? Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Have a good day, sir. That's probably the first thing you want to say. How you doing, officer? I hope you're having a good day. Okay? Matthew 26 and 52. It says, start at 51. And behold, one of them which were with Yahushua stretched out his hand and drew his sword and struck a servant of the high priest and smote off his ear. Which that was Peter. It says, then said Yahushua unto him, put up again thy sword into his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. Okay, and that's what it is, man. You're dealing with the sword. Okay, you going to the gun range. You're working on your tactical shooting, your aim and whatnot. Okay. You deal with the sword, that's going to be your end. Because Esau blessing is the sword. It makes no sense. Okay? Right? So this Revelation is 12 and 12. This is the times we're in. This is the time that's playing out right now. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Right? Just going to the spiritual realm. Okay? And why they're rejoicing? Because it's that time. It's almost that time. Okay? This kingdom is on the downward spiral, and Yahushua is about to get the green light to return. It says, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, the people all around, even you so-called American citizens. Okay? That's why you see America is threatening all these different regions and threatening to take over. Okay? It says, for the devils come down on you having great wrath. And that's not talking about a dude with a fork and the tail. All right? That's talking about an actual person. I like to go to the word devil real quick, just to go into the meaning of words. Okay? You go to the word devil, then you go to the Strongs, okay? Strongs G1228. Diablos. Okay? Diabolos. Show Strongs. Info says false accuser. A traducer. Let's look up traducer real quick. Speak badly. of or tell lies about someone. Okay? So that's a straight up, who does that sound like? False accuser, slanderer, devil. All right? So when you see Esau and you call him a devil, this is what you mean. This is what you mean by saying that, right? You see these little kids running around, these YNs, and they doing all sorts of madness. You're going to say, look at these little devils, right? So that's what the scriptures is talking about. Your enemy, who've been false accusing us, Esau, man, 100%. Now they have that AI technology, it's over, okay? Don't be surprised if you see yourself up there, and here it is, you did a video where you totally prophesying, and then they when they get the hold of the video and they make it public, it's showing you talking about insurrection, talking about you have guns and bombs and all sorts of crazy things. All right, that's the slanderer. You watch that movie, that movie Running Man. That's a good movie. Running Man is a good movie. You know, the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, that's even better. But this new one is not that bad either. It says, "Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time." Okay, so this is exactly what's supposed to happen, right? Esau is supposed to come down with his great wrath because he knows he has but a short time. So we're at the time of the end. This is the time we in. This is why these things have to happen. This is why we cheer these things on. Okay, when all hell break loose, we gonna pray to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, we just gonna endure till Yahweh Shai crack those heavens. Lord willing, we endure. I gotta end this lesson here. And I want to say all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim Kakwadash, and double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders, great millstones, citations that I can push in this word, sincerity and honesty, hopefully, that constantly enduring. Shalom.